Level 8.2, the pick strum pattern for the acoustic guitar. You've been hard at work on your E minor and A minor chords. It's now time to put those together in the form of a song. But first we need to establish the rhythm. So let's zoom in and have a close look at the pick strum pattern for your E minor and A minor chords. The main difference between electric versus acoustic when it comes to the pick strum has to do with the location of the sound hole. And I have my electric players split the difference between the neck and the bridge, and they meet right there in the center. And for us, we can use the sound hole as our guide. So we're putting our pick and strum just over the sound hole where the wood and the hole meet. That's right over this area of the rosette. Get a good balance of sound. Now you can play back here, but that's very nasally. Almost sounds like a banjo. It's a nice effect. And up here, it's very bassy. So if you're looking for a nice bass tone, you can play in that region. But for a good balance of sound, I would say right up in this area to get a nice rich combination of the two sounds. Now remember, we are strumming, so we move more from the elbow. When we pick, we move more from the wrist. So when you do your pick stroke, it's kind of a wrist movement. And then when you do your strum, you can get more distance covered with that elbow. There are hybrid techniques where you can use a little bit of both, the wrist and the elbow, or some players like to use only wrist when they strum. But for us, just in the beginning, as we're learning the basics, in general, you want to make sure you move from the wrist when you pick, and then from the elbow when you strum. The pick strum is just that. So you're picking, and then you're strumming. And for the E minor chord, I'm going to have you pick the big E string, and then separately, you're going to strum the remaining strings. I'd rather you separate the bass and the strum from each other. Now you can play them all together with a pick here and then a big strum across all the strings, but I think it's a nice effect to have this note ringing as you strum the remainder. It kind of separates the two. And you want to do so in a rhythmic fashion. Tick, tock, tick, tock. We got to give people something to dance to. Tick, tock, tick, tock. I try to play my bass note louder than the strum. I just think it sounds better that way instead of going light. That doesn't sound very good. I think it works better with a loud pick and a soft strum. Gives it a good balance. You only have one note ringing here. You have several notes ringing here, so you need to go softer when you're strumming several notes at a time. Now when you get to the A minor chord, you do the same thing, only we're picking the A string, and then we're going to chase that with a strum on the remaining strings. Tick, tock, and we keep a beat. Once again, people like to dance. Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. I'm trying to keep the A string louder than the strum. Nothing works better than a metronome for stabilizing your technique and improving your rhythm skills. And so what I'm going to do is show you how to practice using the metronome over the E minor chord. This is 60 beats per minute. On one click, I'm going to pick the bass string, and on the following click, I'm going to strum. So it sounds like this. Pick, strum, pick, strum. And if that's too fast, you can always slow down the metronome. And here's the same pick strum over the A minor chord. Pick, strum, pick, strum, pick, strum. Now later on, as you get more comfortable, you can work on combinations between the chords. So for example, I'm going to do 4 times on E minor, followed by 4 times on A minor, just like this. can pick any combination that you want. You can do 2x2s, 4x4s, 8x8s, or you can just start picking on one chord, and when you're ready to make the change, try to get that change in rhythm. Once again, if 60 is too fast, you can slow it way down to focus on technique without errors.